human servant story is very similar to one of the stories we watched with Mr. Ballin. Okay? It involves sleep paralysis. Okay. Sleep paralysis, if you guys don't know, is a condition um, that happens when you sleep, but you're semi-conscious, but because your brain is engaged in the whole do not move while we do, cellular respiration, and you can't move. You can't move. So it's almost like being trapped. And some people believe it to be, hallucinations, and some people believe that, it's just your brain doing weird stuff. And some people believe it to be ghosts, like it's a ghost experience. Human servant is one of those people that believes it to be ghost conditions. So human servant is, you know, one of multiple kids in a family that grew up in a home with multiple bedrooms and their parents. Human servant's older sister, who's 16, mind you, at this time. 16. So, like, she's into rock music, she's into boys, she's into, dark makeup, 9 Inch Nails t shirts, Metallica, different things like that. Typical teenage girl for, that time frame. Actually, I think those bands are still cool now. uh, but yeah, she woke up to an experience of not being able to move in her bedroom. In the corner of her eye, she could see somebody standing in the corner, staring directly at her. She called him the Silver Man because he was entirely silver, similar to Terminator 2, where there was that liquid metal Silver Man, and that man slowly approached, got onto the bed, and started crawling on top of her. And she's a teenage girl, mind you, so she's even more petrified because, one, she doesn't know what's about to happen. She's very concerned that she's about to get raped by a Silver Man. Or I shouldn't say that word. But yes, she was very concerned about that. But the Silver Man just got on top of her and put extreme pressure on her chest, pushing down on her, and she couldn't breathe. And she wanted to scream, she couldn't. She wanted to do something, she couldn't absolutely move. And it could sense that she wanted to scream. And it hissed at her. To try to silence her. Monka, stop. Monka, stop. So she had that experience. So she immediately started praying. Like, she has religious roots. And in that panic, she just started praying aloud, as in her mind as much as she could. Yeah, cat hiss for free. Yeah. And she woke up. And she was panicked. Like, her heart was beating out of her chest. Like, she had no idea what just happened. And nightmare fuel, it feels more real. No, this is a legit story. This is not me finding something on the internet. This is a legit story that Human Servant relayed to me. Um, so what did she do? She ran to her parents' bedroom, opened the door, woke them up, and tried to tell them what had just happened. Smoke screen, glad I took my melatonin 30 minutes ago. Yeah, yeah, and she's a 16-year-old girl. Like she's almost an adult at this point. And so her parents are like, "What crazy music are you listening to right before bed?" Or like, "What are you watching right before bed?" This is your fault. You're having bad dreams. Yeah, 빠졌대. Go to bed. Um, so like her parents didn't believe her. They didn't believe her. So she was forced to go to bed. Luckily that night she went to bed and slept okay. Um, but she was, she was scared. The next morning she woke up. She was trying to wonder if she was hallucinating or like, what the hell, happened. Like maybe it was all in my head. Maybe I need to, not watch anything before I go to bed. Type of stuff, type of thoughts. Maybe she was starting to doubt herself. Um, so yeah, she went to school. She lived another day. Um, and come nighttime, the next night, she's a little worried. She's very worried that she's gonna get the exact same experience. She was worried, and she had very good reason to be worried because the exact same thing happened the next night. Silverman was back. He was faster this time. He quickly jumped on top of her and started pushing down on her chest. She was having trouble breathing. You know, um, he didn't hiss this time, but he was quickly trying to essentially kill her. Um, so same thing. She just started praying all over again, started panicking, and you know was able to wake up again, and immediately ran back into Monka. Yep, immediately ran into my parents' bedroom, or ran into the parents' bedroom again, and woke them up, told them about it, and said, "Please, please, please, can I sleep with you?" My parents are like, "You're fucking 16." Or human servants' parents, "You're fucking 16." Like, what? No, like, what's wrong? And then, the mama cat, of course, is like, "No, no, no. You know, this is the second night. Like, something's wrong. Something's wrong. Um, so husband, go sleep in her room, and she'll sleep with me, and it'll be fine." So, um, yeah, human servant's father sleeps in the room. Nothing happens. He's grumpy in the morning because he didn't get a full night's rest. Again. And he's like, "What are you listening to? That that music's no good for you. Or what are you watching? Like, you just need to stop or whatever." And she's like, "I'm not watching anything. I didn't watch TV last night. Like, I don't know, but it happened again." Um, so the third night, like, no, she didn't want to sleep in her room. She's like, "Please, please, please, just sleep in my room. Just sleep in my room." And um, like the parents, they argue because um, they don't know, like they don't know what to do with this. Like they're like, "Do we take her to a doctor? Do we take her to a priest? Like what do we do? Like what are we supposed to do with this situation?" So they decided that um, the father refused. Like he just flat out refused. He's like, "I'm sleeping in my bed because I sleep the best there. Um, if she wants to sleep in the bed with me, that's fine." Like, but I think she ended up sleeping on the sofa downstairs. Um, and Kika-chan. um, and so the mom's like, "Okay, well, I want to see. I want to see." So, um, so human servant and his sister ended up sleeping in the parents' bed. Or no, wait, no, no. Oh, that's what happened. That's what happened. So the father slept in the bedroom. The mother slept in the daughter's bedroom, and the 16-year-old girl slept, with her younger brother in his bedroom. Um, like he is just being nice. He's just like, well, this is weird, but okay, like you're 16, like I'm just a tween, but okay, if you want to. The bed was big enough, so it wasn't a big deal. And so she's telling him the story, like what happened to her, and um, and he's just like, "Are you crazy? Like, what's wrong with you? Why are you telling me this story? That there's no way that happened. There's no way that happened." That night, human servant's mom, sleeping in the daughter's bedroom, was visited by the Silver Man, and the Silver Man did the exact same thing. He crawled onto the bed, got right on her chest, and he started pushing down on her chest, trying to take all of the air out of her lungs. It Same thing. She did the same thing the daughter did. She just prayed her, as hard as she could, and she prayed that she was going to wake up, and she did. And she immediately marched over into, find the husband and given the earful um, that she experienced the same exact thing the daughter did. The Silver Man is real, um, and like we did need to do something about it. But of course, the father is just like, oh God, I have delusional women in this house. All the women in this house are delusional now. There's something wrong. Like so, yeah, people hide. um, so um, he decided, we'll deal. Everyone just go to bed. No one sleeps in that room tonight. I'll sleep in it tomorrow for sure. I'll sleep into it tomorrow. And so that was the plan. So the plan was, the father would sleep in the daughter's bedroom. The mother and daughter would sleep in, the parents' bedroom, and human servant would go back to being in his bedroom alone. Um, but at this point, he was kind of concerned because, like one person, telling the story that they experienced something is kind of puzzling. But when two people tell the exact same story in the exact same house, that it happened in that bedroom, that's when it started to get a little creepy. Um, so, all right. So this is going to be what, night number 4? Night number 4 comes around, and yeah, the father cat sleeps in that bedroom, and he too is visited by the Silver Man. Uh, and this time, the Silver Man was very quick, did the same exact thing, got immediately on top of his chest, and was pushing down on it. And the father did the exact same thing, started praying as hard as he could to wake up and not be, experiencing that. At least the Silver Man isn't sexist. True smokes me. True. Um, so like um, like at that point, it was just fact in that household. Like the house is haunted in that one bedroom by the Silver Man, and anyone who goes in there is going to have a sleep paralysis nightmare with the Silver Man. So so immediately, the father and the mother, extremely religious, they start calling everybody they know, um, to try to, word of mouth figure out what they can do. And it was through one of the aunts that they found a spiritualist lady, um, who kind of was like, I would call it like a clairvoyant or somebody who has visions. Um, and mind you, this isn't a Catholic household. This household was Baptist, so like this is getting on some weird lines of religion. A Latino woman would have hit him with the chancla. Yeah, no, no. The chancla came out, but it came out on the father because he's like You yes, you didn't believe me. You didn't believe me till you experienced it yourself. Cabron. That's what came out. um, so yeah, at that point it was fact. And so they're calling around, and it took a while to like schedule and coordinate with a religious team for an exorcism. The plan was to exorcise the house because there was either ghost, demon, whatever you want to call it, in the house. Um, so that was the plan. So it took like a week or two for that to actually the date where everybody's schedules could mesh. Nobody slept in that room. Got kind of awkward because the sister kept on sleeping with human servant, and it's like he just wanted his room back to himself. I had thought I had some crazy ghost stories. Yeah, this one was pretty intense. So yeah, a a clairvoyant came to the house and like she's like immediately stepped through the doorway and then she had a vision. She's like, I've already seen him. He's laughing. He's laughing at us right now because he knows what we're going to try to do and he doesn't think we're going to be successful. He's laughing at us. Um, and so they went through this crazy process of opening the Bibles, reading different verses. They all started praying very intently, and then they did this thing where she would put her hand out, and it was like she was like feeling energy. She was feeling energy to try to like track him down. Um, and then it was really weird because everyone was sitting at the table. Everybody, including human servant, was sitting at the table, and there was a staircase within eyeshot of the table, and everybody immediately. Oh, good morning, Namori. I'm telling a human servant's ghost story. Currently, we're at the spot where the exorcism team is in the house getting ready, or in the process of exorcising the house. So everyone was at the table reading different verses, praying, and she was like reaching her hands out, but it was weird because like everybody's energy all of a sudden was connected, and immediately everybody turned and looked at the stairs that was within eyeshot of the table because it felt like somebody had just come downstairs and like everyone would turn to look like if it was another sibling that just walked down the stairs, but no one was there. But instantly, even human servant in his bones knew it was there, looking at us or looking at them, um, staring at them, what they're doing. This is not a fake story, Clonius. This is legitimately a human servant story. Um, so yeah, everybody got up from the table and we're like, all right, we gotta just kind of like we're gonna it was like getting up to like a fight. Everybody was getting up from the table. We knew that we had to like move through the house and bless different sections of the house. So they went room to room, blessing all the downstairs because we knew he was on the stairs, which meant he was going to go upstairs. So you had to bless all of the rooms that were already that are already there, so that he could go to them. So then the entire group started moving upstairs where the bedrooms were. They went into the parents' bedroom. They did the whole blessing of that room, holy water, and everything, and sanctified that one. And then they went into human servant's bedroom, sanctified it, and then the entire group moved into the daughter's bedroom, and you could feel the energy, is what human servant told me. You could feel the energy that we had walked into the room that he was in, the Silver Man. This is why I sage every new place I. Oh no! pay somebody to demolish the house. Well, that was the thing. It was a new construction. Like this house wasn't very old. This wasn't like an ancient house. And so what the clairvoyant was trying to, um, say was, sometimes we invite things in, and sometimes unwittingly or unintentionally, knowing that it's of evilness and of the occult. Um, so they began the process of. That's why you don't need explosives. Make sure that's why you need explosives. Make sure the bastard doesn't survive. Yep, just blow up the house. Um, so yeah, they began the sanctification process of this room and consecrating it. And what was crazy is the daughter had a pet gerbil, and somehow I don't know how it works, but the gerbil, like he had taken um, presence within the gerbil or within the gerbil's cage. So he's trying to hide essentially. And the clairvoyant was trying to say like, well, yeah, because often of the occult, you know, rats and rodents are often used um, for occult rituals and ceremonies and things like that. So everyone was like, okay, but it was her pet. We couldn't just like get rid of the cage and the pet at the same time. So we had to sanctify the gerbil cage. Um, and um, it was weird because the clairvoyant was in there, and we were able to consecrate and sanctify the bedroom to where he finally left the gerbil cage alone. Burn it. uh, but so everyone was like, "Well, the house is clear, but why don't we feel relief?" And everybody knew it was just everybody knew like yeah, like we knew the house was clear, but no one had this sense of relief because he was just outside the house at that point. Like he's just laughing again because he's outside the house. He's like, I'll just get invited back in. It's that easy. To me, it reminds me of like a vampire. How like a vampire has to be invited in, and he's just laughing off it. Okay, yeah, you kicked me out, but you're gonna invite me back in, and I'll just come back then. Um, but at that point, um, she like had everyone link hands, and she said that we needed to picture him. Everybody, everybody. And so they all linked hands, and sure enough, human servant said he could picture him because um, she was like picturing him, and she's saying, "Oh, he's next to water. Where's there water around here? Like, where you guys are in the desert? Where's there water?" And everyone was like, "Oh, there's an irrigation ditch over there. Like two houses down, um, and it has water right now." And she's like, "Oh, well, that's where he must be right now." And so everyone just pictured him, and sure enough, human servant said he could see him in his mind, and everybody knew. And so they pulled out a prayer to cast him out and send him to what they believe to be hell or the underworld, and bind him from the house, just bind the demons. And they prayed intensely for like 5 to, I want to say it felt like 5 to 15 minutes is what the human servant said. And the human servant said he even envisioned him like melting into the ground, and everybody sensed it at the same time, a relief that they essentially exorcised him to the underworld. Um, I have to sleep now. Thanks for the spookies. I hope I don't get a visit from the Silver Man. It really is like Terminator True. True, Spencer. True. I do not claim any energy from this video. Poor lame Lenny. She's not gonna sleep. She's not gonna sleep. She's like, well, I can't go camping. I can't go on a cruise. I can't go in the ocean. I can't even sleep in my own house anymore. But yeah, that's Human Servant story. So yes, he believes in ghosts, and in fact, since he believes in ghosts, he flat out says, "I cannot be an atheist because I've experienced supernatural events."